How has media representation or lack thereof impacted your own experience or the community you serve?
Well, I would say if we're specifically talking about Black women, there's been an ebb and a flow about how Black women are portrayed in media, how Black women are allowed to show up or not show up. If we're talking specifically about Black queer women, probably not as much. I don't think that you often see movies or television that is centered in that community. So that's probably harder to attain or harder to find. More so in music, in literature, more so in art. So we're counting that as media. And 2025 social media, I think you can see more of that. You can, capture Black queer women in various spaces and places, but television and movies probably much harder.
What do you think are the most pressing issues in LGBTQ plus representation in media today?
Most pressing. Probably just the ability to exist and be free, free to, live wherever, work wherever, have families if that's something that folks want. To be present in their own mind, body, and spirit. I think, unfortunately and historically, if we're, again, speaking specifically about Black women, there's just been so much control, and Black people in general, like your movement and where you can go and where you can't go, and do you belong or do you not belong? And like I said, if we start to peel away the layers and we're talking about intersectionality of orientation and gender and the way that people love and who they love, there's even more of that. There's just so much control over your comings and goings, as I like to say.
How can social work and advocacy help shape more authentic and affirming media portrayals?
That's a good question. I mean, if social workers are going to start working in media, that might be a thing. But also probably, we all have responsibilities. And so for people whose life work is media and putting together, visual representations of people, then there may be a responsibility there to ask those same questions. Who's not here? Who have we not tapped into, talked about, or with in the making of this media? And, is there such a thing as a social worker working on a movie set? I don't know. Probably, possibly, might depend on what the movie's about. But I think in order to create more representation, then you have to ask the people who are the representatives and who are connected to those communities.
If you could send one message to media creators and social workers about responsible LGBT representation, what would it be?
Let people in the community tell their own stories. It's okay to, like I said, want to share, want to document, want to highlight or center a community, but there's so much more authenticity in asking community members, what's your story? And do you want to share it? Because we want to hear from you. We want to hear directly from you. And I think there's a beauty in letting someone who has a story to tell it.